Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for confirming. So I hope all of you were present in the past sessions, what we did last week, right, on Sunday. So is there any questions from the session what we did last time?
So far, no question from my side.
Okay, great. So you are already aware that we have talked about multiple of things if I talk about Python, right? So we need to start from beginning today. Let me just give a quick introduction and then maybe we will, jump on the next topics. So we are aware that this is an open source, which means free to use. We need not to pay anything to anybody. Okay, just you should have understanding and you can use it from anywhere. And we also talked about that it is increasing the popularity. So already we have talked about, no need to discuss again and again the same point. Then we also talk about that it is fastest growing with respect to your libraries. I have already talked about what are libraries. Libraries are different programs which already created and we can use for our purpose. Then I also talk about that, okay, multiple of the, big giants is using it as and main or support language, right? So, but yeah, it is in use everywhere. If you see, Python is used. And if I just, for your information, there is a Dutch scientist, or maybe we can say a coder, okay, who invented it, and his name is uh, Guido van Rossum. So he is currently also living, by the way. Okay, but yeah, this language, if I talk about, was released in 1989. Maybe way before we can say the Java developed. But Java got the popularity earlier. Now, because of its easyability and because of multiple of maybe libraries, we can say this is picking up the pace. So now in the market, if you speak about Java is not, so much liked as Python is running in the environment. Okay, this is one thing which we already talked about. Then I hope you people are already aware that Python has three versions. Okay, version 1, which is not there. Version 2 is also obsolete, but if someone is using that, they need to be go on version 3. Okay. So this is the latest one. Subversion can be any, like 3.11, 3.12, or blah blah. But yeah, this is how your Python versions are, and we will be working on the latest one. We won't use the previous version because even if you will use the previous version, just FYI, they are not interoperable. It means if you are running a code into version 2, that is not working in version 3. The syntax and the other stuff is changed. Okay. So there are different versions and we will be using on latest version 3. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Now, when we will use Python, we will always talk about objects. Let's start from here today because it's a very important topic, objects. So you should be aware about that there is something named as objects. And by the way, Python is your object-oriented programming language. Sorry, object-oriented programming language. So it's OOP. Okay. So let us say if I have a variable named as A and I am storing something into it, like let us say I am storing a name like Ben. Okay. So here this storage, what you are doing, this object has some data types. And we need to look upon these data types. And please be aware when I am teaching about these data types, this is the main heart of your language. Because if your foundation is strong, you can write down a different programs. If your foundation is not strong, while creating the program, you will get confused easily. So when I'm talking about objects, like there can be some objects which have the data type, maybe string, maybe integer, boolean, float, or blah blah, then you need to focus on that because these data types are really very important. Okay, we will just talk about the all of these stories, but I am just telling you that there are some kind of objects in the data type. So if I gave you some example, maybe let me open the command prompt. When I am writing down Python and putting enter, I am going into some mode. I will be going to talk about this also, but in a moment. First, the topic what I started, let me complete that. Okay. And if I am just using some variable like age, and let us say somebody is 30, I am storing that. So it means that I declared a variable. The variable name is age, and into what? I am storing the data as 30. If I just write down age and put enter, this is interactive interpreter. I'm just about to come on this. Okay. It will give me the value of that variable. You can see age is 30. And when such variable I am using, okay, like age equal to 30, it means this is a variable of integer data type. Okay. So in your Python, there would be lot of functions. There can be user defined function. There
So
can be inbuilt function.
quick
Okay.
question. So
Which you, yeah.
question. So does the variable becomes like the folder or the file that you're going to install the object in?
I'm just telling you over here.
Okay.
So you can consider as variable as a jar.
Okay. All
In
right.
this jar, you can put sugar candy.
Yes.
You can put maybe rice, wheat, flour, or whatever. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So this is your a jar. Now, if I am writing down this variable, you can give any name of this jar. This is a jar. Now in this jar, I am putting a value. The value what I am putting, this value can be, as I told you, salt. This can be sugar, okay, or blah blah. Similarly, when I am putting 30, it is bit like a type of value. What type of value? That I am showing you over here. I can use type and I can see what is the type of age. Means age is a variable and I wanted to find out the type of value what I am storing in the age. And you can see it is integer type. So this is what I was trying to, build a little
Yes.
foundation about
Yes, I
your data
understand now.
type.
Yep.
So this is
Please,
data type.
please, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, um, 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 what when you explain, I'm thinking that when you want to when you create variable, we are need to specify the type of object that is entered on this variable. Is like that.
Right.
Yes.
So if I just give you an example, let us say if I am taking an example, I am using a variable named as price. And in the price, I am using some value like 99.88 maybe.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I will see the type of price, it is bit like float. Why? Because there is a decimal value. So let me give one more example. I am using sorry, the name is a variable and I am giving a name. Let us say I am giving a name like was. Okay. If I see name, there is a value. If I will check the type of the variable, whose name is name, you can
String.
see it is showing as string.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? So
Yes.
what I am trying to tell here, now you need to understand. I am just talking about that in Python, you can store some values. Okay. This value can of some different type, like integer. You will be like getting all these integer string. I will be talking about all of them, don't worry. But currently I am just trying to say that there can be different values. Okay, different type. I showed you integer, I showed you string, I showed you float. So these values can be in your variable, right? Variable is bit like your jar. Okay, variable is a name, bit like a
Yeah.
jar where you can put
Yeah.
some values.
I think
Okay,
it's clear. Yep.
yeah. Was clear to you?
Clear,
Yes.
clear, sir.
Okay. And how to pronunciate your name? Is it Cyprian?
Cyprian, good.
Okay, Cyprian, yeah?
Very good, Cyprian.
Okay. So Cyprian, clear for you also?
Please?
Any doubt? No? Okay. Let's proceed. Now I am showing you some more variable, okay? So don't bother about what is this, because I will be gonna talk about each and every variable. But currently I'm just showing you that there can be different data types. So I am showing you some more, but don't get confused. Oh, what is that? What I am not aware about those things. So
It's
I
okay.
am
I think
okay, right?
yes, it has
So
clarified
let us
things.
say if I have a variable like colors.
Mhm.
So if you see, I can use some like red. I can give some color like green. Please don't bother about the syntax. You will able to understand each and everything in some time. But currently I am just trying to show you something. Like I took a variable named as colors and I put 3 values. There can be a number of values for sure. If I see the type, okay, of this variable like colors, you would be able to see there is some another type. It is named as list. So that is what I was mentioning, that in your environment, when we will use Python, you can store value in different data types. And you should be aware about each and every data type when we will come to the actual program. Okay, these are very important and very basic.
Sure.
Similarly, if I show you like a variable like student, and again I am using some value which you can ignore for now, but later on you will be able to understand about it. I'm just giving like name equal to Bob. Okay, this is a value storage formula. Grade, maybe I can say he is in 10th grade, like that. Okay, and if I will check the type of student, there will be some another data type named as dictionary. Okay, and all of these variables we will be gonna, okay, sorry, all of these data types we will be gonna talk about. But currently what I was telling earlier, let me just jump on the same topic where from where I started, and that is in Python you can have different data types, and you need to be aware about all of these objects because Python is very specific about their objects. Okay, these all are objects. Okay, now when you need to store an object, you should have a variable. This side it is named as variable. So
Yep.
A is variable name. Like I used a variable name age. I use a variable name. I use a variable name, maybe any name. You can take any name. So the name should be again very wisely. You should use it because you can use a name like IP address. Okay. So I can use a name like IP address, or maybe I can say IP address of router one. So I can took such kind of name and I can put over here like maybe 1.1.1.1. Okay, this is my one variable, and this variable is storing what kind of value. The name should revealing that information to me. So whenever you are creating a variable, it should not be a nonsense. It should be making some sense to you, because when maybe after 10 days, 5 days, or 15 days, you are watching out your own program, you will get confused. So there are some best practices out of what, like variable name. You should use a variable name in a good format so that you can able to understand what you have defined and how you are using. Okay,
Okay.
perfect. If no doubts, what I
Yeah.
was talking, let me get.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Now, if I talk about these data types, one more thing will come. Like if I am doing some operation like plus operation, okay, if it is an integer data type, integer, this operation will be different. If I am using string, this same arithmetic, this same, maybe I will say symbol will do a different task. How? Let me show you. I'm showing over here. Maybe value 1 is 10, value 2 is maybe whatever. If I will say value 1 plus value 2, simple. It is giving the same value, just adding 10 out of it, and you can see the last value is 45. But if again I have two variables, I am just putting some two data over here, maybe name, that will be name equal to Python, then name 1. I'm just taking any name currently of the variable name, which is not making any sense, but that's fine. Automation. Okay. If I will add these two, you can see you cannot add two words logically. Those words cannot be added. So what function it is doing? The plus is doing the concatenation. It means it is adding two strings, characters, right? So it is just giving by giving in the same line, okay? Which means that every arithmetic operation or every these kind of operators will make a different work for different character. Let me show you again. So we had a value 2. In value 2, I will put multiply by maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Okay. You can see there is a some value which is coming to me, and it is literally a multiplication. But same thing if I will do from name, and I'm multiplying it 10 times. So you can see it is repeating Python keyword, because in the name there is the value of Python. So that Python keyword is getting repeated by 10 times. Okay. Same operator is doing two different things. And on what basis it is depending? It is depending upon your data type.
Okay.
So if I will try to say, okay, add the name in the value 1. Can you see? It is giving you an error. It is saying, buddy, there is some error, type error. You cannot concatenate string or integer. It does not support it. Okay. Maybe if you are using some other language, maybe any language, and you are trying to add x plus 3, it can give the result like x3. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. But here, Python is very serious about their data types. If you are using one kind of data type, you are using some kind of arithmetic operations on one data type or operator, I will say. So those operators may have different kind of functionality depending upon another data type. Is this point clear to everybody? Any question?
Yes. I think it's okay. So you cannot mix integer and what is it, string? Is that what you say?
Yes. So in future, we will be going to talk about like in 1 or 2, 3 classes, you will come to know about all these building blocks. I
Okay.
will be building up these whole, theoretical portion.
Okay.
After that, you will be very easily understand. But
Okay.
before touching that topic, I need to tell you what is the importance, why we are doing that.
Okay.
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 Fine.
All right.
So if no questions, let's proceed further.
Yes. Move on.
So if I talk about Python, okay. On Linux, it is already there. You need not to do anything. Okay, it's already there. You might need to update it. There is a command I will give you, and running that command, Linux will get updated automatically.
Okay.
If you are using Windows or Mac, whatever, okay, you need to install it. And when you need to install it, when I'm saying it is bit like very easy, like you are installing any other program. Maybe you can say about Word, PDF, or Acrobat Reader, okay, or whatever you say. So it's very simple. Let me maybe open my browser and show you. You guys able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
So just go to the python.org,
Mhm.
go to the download. You
Okay.
can see it's your first version, 3. Your sub version can be any. Okay, you can download any. Simply, if you are using Windows, click on Windows. If you are using Mac, click on Mac. If you are using Linux, Unix, other, whatever, you can use that. Okay. And if you just scroll it down, you can see there are some active release, Python release. Okay. 3.8, end of life. Then you can see here maintenance status is security and all of those things you can see over there, which we as a network engineer does not see very negatively. But if somebody is using it as front end language, which I will be going to talk about in a moment, they need to be very sure like they should be have updated version or bit like that. Okay. So you can see there are a lot of others releases which you can go for. Okay. But very, very simple. Click on this. Okay. It will get downloaded. Once it start downloaded, you need to just find out, okay, let me see where it's down.
If I have Python 3.10, that is what I have currently, and I want to
Sorry?
go to I'm saying if I have installed Python 3.10 and I want to go to 3.13,
You just download it.
oh,
Download
you
it
just have
and
to download it. You don't have a command that you can um insert it for it to upgrade it to 13 for you. You have to install it from the scratch. Is that what it is?
okay. So
You,
which
you
version
go
you
to
are using? You are using Linux, Windows or Mac?
Yeah, it's Windows.
Windows, no?
Yep.
Okay. Let me see which version I am using.
Yeah, I have the same as oh, is that what let me check.
If I click on Python, you can see my version is 3.10.6
Yes,
and
I
it
have
is
the
not
same.
giving. Okay. So it's not giving me any error over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I hope, yes, we can install it using the pip, but I don't want to talk about
Yeah,
pip
the
now.
pit. Yeah, the pip. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about that currently.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe later on I will be explaining about
Okay,
that.
no problem.
Okay. For
All right.
now, just to not confuse everybody, you
Mhm.
just install from here, whatever version you want to install, and you can just click on next, 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 and it will be get installed. Just
okay.
one thing, just one.
Okay.
When you will click next, 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 there will be some option here, like you need to tick it mark, and that option is add Python to path. Please tick it mark. Okay, always use this option, enable this option. And why? There is reason. Because if you will not use this option, then for running this Python, you need to go on that specific path or URL, whatever you want to say. Okay, maybe URL is not correct word. Path we can say. So you need to go to that specific path to run the program. If you don't want that, you want that my Python should be run anywhere from, like if you see here, let me show you again. Exit. I am running Python maybe in C users HP. If I am writing down Python, my command prompt is able to understand. If I am just going out of this program and I am just writing down Python, again, my PC is understanding it. My command prompt is understanding it. If this would not be have the case that if I should not have selected this add Python to path, then I need to go to that specific path like user C Python folder, whatever folder. Okay, I need to go to that path specifically to run any program. So to avoid that thing, whenever you are doing running the Python, please select this. Although this stuff you can do later on also if you have already done. Maybe you need to go to the paths. You need to add that path manually in the Windows. But if you are not familiar with Windows or maybe Mac stuff, then better at the time of installation, tick mark. Okay. In Linux, if you are using Linux, there is a program named as apt-get. Using apt-get, you can update your Python or whatever. If you are using Mac, maybe there should be some homebrew or yum kind of program. So you can use those and you can upgrade your environment. So something maybe you can do the Googling also. Huh? You can go to the Google and you can just surf it and maybe you will get those commands. But I hope you people are okay what I did so far. Any questions?
Clear, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead. So let me tell you, when I'm going to the command prompt and I am running like this Python, I am going into one mode. Okay, this specific mode is the named as interpreter mode. Interpreter. Let me write down. So the thing is interpreter mode. Okay. So what does that mean? See, when you wanted to share something or it is by mistake? I received your request, so I just declined it. Maybe it is by mistake. Fine.
No problem.
So
Go ahead.
yeah. So if you see what I was talking about, yeah, interpreter. See, the interpreter is a program that reads about your Python code line by line. So when you have, let us say, 100 of the lines, okay? If I am speaking with you, you guys are comfortable maybe in French. I am comfortable maybe in Hindi as an Indian, okay? So, but we cannot communicate in our languages. If you will speak in French and I will speak in Hindi, nobody will able to understand. So somehow we need to come on a point that, okay, let's jump on a language which you can also speak, I can also speak, and that is how we are able to communicate. Similarly, when you are writing down a program, you are writing down in which language? Python. And Python is very much closer to humans. I speak about the same in our previous previous video, right? But when you are running this program, eventually when you are running this program, you are running it on some machines, and machines understand the language of binary, right? Whatever 11001111 bit like that. Okay, only binary. So when if you have seen maybe one country PM is coming in your country and they are communicating, so there is somebody in between them who is translating his language or her language to another side, and similarly to another side to the first side. So this translator is very important. Similarly, in any language, there is a translator kind of stuff. Okay, I am just giving you an analogy. So this translator
Yes.
can be interpreter,
Okay.
and this translator can be compiler. So there is a little way of working.
What is that? Whether what is it? What?
I am just talking about.
Okay.
So there is a little difference in between interpreter and compiler. But let us say if we talk about C++, if we
Okay.
talk about
Okay, got it.
Java,
Yes,
those
yes.
languages are using compiler.
Okay.
But if we are talking about Python, Python is your interpreter kind of
Interpreter
stuff.
mode. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
Interactive.
you say that Python use interpreter and other program use compiler. Is right?
Right.
Yes.
Any
Yes.
language, yes, you are right. So any
Yes.
language can use interpreter, any language can use compiler. It depends upon the developer who is developing it. Okay.
Yes.
So let us say the Java developer choose compiler. Okay.
I think
Python.
the analogy is helping us a lot because we are coming from a very basic background. So the analogy is really helping. Sorry, we are dragging you back, but
No, that's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
yeah,
Okay.
That is my job. Don't worry.
Okay.
no problem.
Okay. So I will talk about from the level 0. Don't worry.
Yes.
Don't worry. Don't worry. That is my job. So if you see now interpreter, the work is interpreter line by line will translate line by line. So compiler will compile first whole program, then check if there is some error or no. If no error, then it will pass on to the machine. Okay. But it will pass line by line. So if you are having, let us say, 1,000 lines of code, if you have an error at 999 line, okay, compiler will say, sorry, I cannot proceed. First you remove the error, then only I can pass it to the next party. But interpreter will pass on 9999 or maybe 998 line. At 9999 is error, it will throw error over here. So this is the like very basically I am trying to tell you how interpreter and compiler have a little difference among the working. Is this part clear to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, but both of them are doing same work. Huh?
Okay. Sorry if you guys hear some noise over here. I have my devices up and running, so just
No,
ignore.
that's fine.
Okay.
We are not
Okay.
listening in.
Good.
So if you see this, if I write down Python, I am going into some mode. This mode is your interactive interpreter mode.
Okay.
Interpreter mode, which means I am going to the interpreter level. Okay. Actually. So interpreter is a program that read your Python code line by line, right?
Okay.
What I talked about. So it is unlike your compiled language. Python does not fully translate into the machine code before running it. It will go line by line. Okay. So when you are going into the interactive mode in your command line, it means immediately you will get the results. But in real scenarios, we don't use this. We use something else, which I will be going to talk about. But currently, I am just telling you that you are using, if you are through the CLI, you are using the interpretive mode. But since in your day-to-day routine mode, you cannot use that. You will go to the normal mode, or we can say to the script mode. So what this script mode or normal mode is, when you need to run a multiple of the files, you cannot go to the CLI and run line by line. First, you will run made a program somewhere. You can even write it on the text also. Text notepad, I mean. Say, okay. You can run it on the notepad as well. Let me on the notepad, and you can store this notepad in the all file with extension .py. Even that also works, but we will not use notepad for sure. I'm just telling you. Okay, you can utilize that, and the extension of Python is py.
PY.
If you
Yeah.
guys are aware about Versa, in Versa they have lot of .py file. Okay, everything is working on Python. So there is lot of Python which is getting used over there. But okay, let's leave that.
Is it
So
Versa? Is it Versa as an SD-WAN or what is that?
yeah. Versa
Okay.
SD.
Okay.
Versa SD-WAN, by the way, is picking up the boom.
Yeah, I have been using Silver Peak.
Ah,
I
okay.
do Silver Peak a lot. Yeah.
Oh, oh, good.
Yeah.
So when you are going to such kind of things like in normal environment,
Mhm.
you will use something named as Python IDE.
Okay.
IDE is bit like, maybe you can say, is a software or a bit like an application which
Okay.
has comprehensive set of tools where you are having rich like I can say functionalities for writing down, running or debugging your Python code with respect to the simple editor. As I told you, you can write down into the notepad also. But if you
Okay.
just think about notepad, there is something named as notepad plus plus. There is something
Yes.
named as Word. There is something named as maybe Excel. So there are these all tools are having different work. Like we cannot say, okay, if Word is existing, then what is the use of PDF or what is the use of maybe PowerPoint? Buddy, everybody has their own use, right? So similarly, when we are talking about writing down the Python, then we will use some kind of IDE. Okay,
Okay.
these IDEs are very important. Again, bit like tools, right? IDE
Okay.
you can think like a Notepad or Word or PDF. I am showing you in a moment, but I'm just first let me talk about it.
Okay.
So what is the usage? Usage is the syntax highlighting will be there. So as I told you, whenever you are writing down your program, your syntax should be clear. So it will give you different colors based upon different syntax, maybe different variables. If it is a integer variable, maybe different color, string variable, maybe different color, which make it easier to read or identify the error. Okay. Then when you are writing down something, so let us say if my syntax is, I need to write down something in the double quotes. I'm just giving you an example. When I am using IDE, it will use auto completion. Like if I'm starting the code, it will automatically put this ending code. So I need not to close it. I am already having that. Why? Because my ID is aware that you are starting it. It means it has to be end also. And since you need to end also, let me do it for your job. Okay. So bit like that, auto completion will be there. Then code formatting you can do over there depending upon your, different formats. So error detection is also easy. So when you install Python, just for your information, a different by default IDE whose name is IDLE will get installed automatically. If you have that in your environment, Ben, you can just go to the Windows, write down IDLE, and you can able to see that IDLE is already there.
Okay. Let
Even
me do
you
that.
need, yeah. Even you need not to do anything. For those guys who don't have Python, I am showing you the IDLE over here. It is bit like the Python interpreter what we are using. So I hope you can able to see the IDLE what I am showing over here on the screen. It is bit like, equivalent to the command prompt. Same thing. If I need to write down maybe name equal to maybe I am just writing down France. So you can see it is giving some different kind of colors, right? But we will not use this IDE for sure. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't give you the abbreviation. It is integrated development environment ID. Now, which ID we will use, you need to understand. We will be gonna use the ID named as Visual Studio Code. So this is a Microsoft IDE, which I was showing you in our last, class. So this is an IDE which you guys also need to download. How to download it? Again, very simple. Let me open browser and I can say Visual Studio Code down. Okay. So just click on Visual Studio Code, go to the official website. Here again, depending upon whatever you are using, if Windows, click on Windows, Mac, click on Mac, bit like that. Okay. You go there and just click over here and it will get, downloaded onto your program. And similarly, as we need to click on next, here also you need to click next, and the program will get installed. Once this program will get installed, okay, you see this extensions. You need to click on this extension. Here, you need to search for Python. Okay, you need to search for Python. The very first, whatever come into your environment, like I have already, so it's not showing, it is talking about restart. But can you see this like this install? This install will be visible over here. Click on install and that's it. You need not to do anything else. Okay. I hope this is clear. This is my ID. So on my ID, if I need to use my new file for Python, maybe I can just write down, save this file. Let me save this file. Maybe some untitled, that's fine. And if I am saying here like name equal to, and if you see, I am just using the start double quotes, but and one comes automatic, right? Similarly, let me start again. Can you see? I just start, but and one are coming automatic. Now, if you see, there are different colors also which are coming. Okay, these colors may be showing different stuff which we can talk about
Can you
later on.
guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I lost the connection. I think I had a blip, so I had to connect to my another ISP. I have two different ISP, so I lost in a brief moment.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. So we
Yeah.
were talking about this Visual Studio Code.
Yes,
Okay.
where we were was you show the ID the IDLE. That was where I lost the connection.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
So you go to the browser. Just write down, download Visual Studio Code. Go to the first website, and then like
could you
very
please
simple,
drop the link in the chat? Or I should just type it.
Just write down over here, Visual Studio Code down. Click on the first link, which is codevisualstudio.com, and you can download as per your machine. Okay, whatever you have, you can just download that. Okay. Very simple. Once it is installed, what I was talking about these guys, let me show you the same. Such kind of picture will open in front of you. You need to click over here. Can you see there is something named as extension? Okay. You need to click over here. Okay, extension. Search here for Python.
Studio Code.
Okay. When you search for Python, like, can you see this install button? Because I have already installed, so it's not showing over here. But in your case, the very first Python should have installed. Click on install and install that Python. That's it. Okay.
I'm trying to download and I'm having some difficulties.
Maybe you can do it later on.
Okay.
So we just install Python. Please, can you go to your IDL interface?
So this ideally you can install on your Windows PC, not an issue. Or on your PC, maybe I will say, on your Mac or on
I have the page now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can use on your lab environment. If you don't have your lab environment, you can use it on our lab environment. Okay, depending upon how you are using.
No problem.
First, what was your question? for us. What was your question? Sorry.
Yes, please. On extension, we just install Python only. If you go to, let me see your extension page. Ideally, extension page.
Okay.
Interface.
Let me show. Let me again open it. I closed it.
Okay. Okay.
Although you will get in the video,
Okay.
everything is
On
covered in the video, but
okay. On
there
extension,
is
yes.
text.
Yes.
Just click over
Okay.
here, write down over
Python.
here Python.
Okay.
Okay. No
We
problem.
Just
just
write down
we,
Python and just
okay.
install it.
We just install
Like
which
the
all we
very first,
install
very
Python
first.
this only,
Only
not
this. Yeah.
Python. Okay.
No, nothing else. Only this. Because I
Okay.
have already installed. I don't have this install button, but in your case, there should be install button. You install it.
Okay. 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 Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And then you should have this kind of
Okay.
picture. You can
Interface.
just open a new file and save it in the format of .py. Give any
Okay.
name,
All right.
like I am showing over.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, when you open this interactive interpreter, okay, there is something named as help. You can use like that, help. So if you see here, help utility will give you that, okay, what you wanted to find out. Like I wanted to go for topics. If you see, I am into the help mode. I am just writing down topics. It is giving me all the topics. Let us say I want to learn about something, maybe Boolean. I will write down Boolean and I will put enter. And can you see it is talking about each and everything, right? It is talking
Yes.
about each and everything. So if I will put one more time enter, I am coming out of help and I
Yes.
am again
Yes.
coming in the interpreter mode.
Interpreter mode.
So
Okay.
help is also useful if you wanted to see something like I just need to write down like this help. It is showing me that your syntax is wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Then if I will write down topics, you can see again the topics. If maybe I wanted to see about strings, I will click on the strings. See, it is giving me whole theory about the strings, right? It is giving me a lot of stuff about the string. So that is how your help can be also you can use into your environment if you want. Again, it's not important. I'm just telling. And then, as I explained you, when you are into the Python interpreter, I can use like this: a equal to 10, b equal to 20 or 11 or 12, whatever. And I can say what is the value of
PHP.
a plus b. It is showing like 22. But don't use such kind of variables in your program ever. Why? Because your naming convention should be very, very specific when you are using, right? This is very important when you are using your naming convention. Even there is a, let me show you. If you write down over here, Python naming convention, PAP8. So PAP8 is the style guide bit like, okay? So you can see this is PAP8 style guide for Python. They are talking about this whole stuff that do not use such kind of small things or bit like that. You can see that their
Yes.
you know their wording A B
Yes.
C D, this is
Yeah.
like
This. Yeah.
making no sense. Okay, so there is a special style guide you can read about that, but I
Okay.
will not go into that kind of theory.
That's fine. Yeah. That's good.
Just simply I am telling you, you need to use such a names which should make some sense when in your program. Okay,
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Now, if theoretically I am talking about, let me maybe give some little more description about theoretically Python. Again, I am touching the overview only. Okay, so if I talk about Python and if I write down about Python, what is Python in your browser? So the theoretically answer will be Python is high level interpreter or interpreted interactive and objective or not objective, it should be object object-oriented scripting language. This will be your theoretical answer. Now let me talk about this, how they are defining it. Okay. When we are talking about high level means what? Readable. English like frequently word you are using over there. Your punctuations or your syntax will be very, very easy. So they are using the term as high level. Okay. Interpreter. I talked about that the role of interpreter is executing the source code of program line by line, right?
Okay.
So it read a line of code, translate it into the intermediate form, and execute it immediately. So this process is repeated for each and every line of code. So it is bit like, as I told you, a translator who read the sentence, right? And then move to the next sentence, then to the next sentence, then to the next sentence, bit like that. Okay, interpreter. That is the reason it is named as interpreted. So you need not to compile over here, bit like your PHP, Perl language, Java language, C language. No. Then if you talk about this word, object-oriented, I before some time I talked about that it is OOP, means object-oriented programming language, right? Object-oriented programming language.
Okay.
It very emphasized on its own object. Okay. So what kind of object you are creating? The data type of object is string, data type is maybe something else that is like. Then
Okay.
interactive, if we talk about interactive means very bit like interpreter is very interactive with you, as I showed you, right? And this is for beginners, like level 0. As you were saying that I want to understand this in the level 0. Yes, it is level 0 language. Okay. So if you talk about the programming language, even if you talk about some kind of programming language, then your programming language can be low level language, which is bit like very close to the machine, or machine language we can say, assembly language we can say. And there can be some high level language which we are using as a Python. Okay. So scripting language, markup language, programming language is the different terms what we use. Now, when I'm talking about these terms, in future, you must have so one more term. Okay, maybe somebody talking with you that, okay, I have done the Python. They may ask that, okay, what kind of language it is? Either it is front end
Yeah,
or
you
it is
mentioned that.
back
Okay.
end,
Okay.
right? So if you remember, what is this? Can you tell me? Python?
You just said you will talk about front end language, so I wrote
Right,
it down.
right.
Front end.
I wrote it in my book.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. What I was talking about, that even let us say this, I am talking about now ASM, now not about the programming. I am talking about ASM. In ASM, if some client is coming to the ASM will find out something named as device ID. You were not there in my ASM batch, but these people, Fawaz was there.
Okay,
I
that's
hope,
fine.
yeah, Cyprian was also not there. Device ID. How it create a device ID, ASM? It will send some kind of language. That is what? JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript. And by collecting the JavaScript, even ASM can find out what is the screen size, screen resolution size. What is that? Okay. What kind of browser my client is utilizing? Maybe different thousand of variants it will collect from your client. And by the usage of that, if let us say this is a hacker, this is a bad guy. Okay. It steal the cookie, session cookie, and it try to come out over here to fool the ASM. One of the characteristic will be different. ASM will find out that, okay, this is not the right guy. Are you getting my point? So this is front end language, JavaScript. Front end means, let me talk about these wordings now, okay, so that you people can understand. So there is two terms, front end and back end, which have distinct side of software development for sure, but I am not talking about those software development and blah, blah, blah. Okay, we are here as network professionals and we will touch only that part which is good for us. So in very simple term, if I talk about front end is a language which is client side. Very simple, straightforward. Nothing here and there I need to, beat the bush. So it is client side, which means user can directly see or interact with it. Or maybe there is some kind of user interface, some kind of user experience, some kind of maybe website, application, whatever. So if you talk about front end, very, very famous language is HTML. One example I just talk about JavaScript. Python has one version in one maybe library, I would say, named as Django, which is a web framework of Python that is also front, right? Because that is a web framework for sure. It will be front end. But if you talk about backend, backend means server side, which will reside on the server. Okay, it will not be. It will work behind the scene. It will not come forward. It handle the logic, data storage, server infrastructure, maintain the front end function also. User typically don't interact with the backend kind of stuff. Okay, it is bit like you can say engine or internal system of a car where you are not doing anything, but eventually if your car is working, it is because of your backend. So if you talk about this bashing language, if you talk about this PHP, if you talk about this Perl, Ruby, okay, if you talk about this Python, all of these are what? Backend. Okay, so this is your backend or server side, maybe you can say. Again, if I talk about an analogy, so imagine a restaurant. Front end is what? The dining area, the menu, the way the food is presented to you, how the customers interacted with the staff or waiters. These are front end developers, right? How they are serving the customer. If I talk about backend, the kitchen, the chefs, the ingredients, recipes, inventory management, all of those things are the backend. I hope you people are able to understand it.
Yes.
Any question from anybody? No?
So
Okay.
now can I conclude that Python is backend? Is
I'm sorry?
Python is backend application.
Yeah, Python is a backend. Like,
Okay.
so what does that mean? Let us say if you are creating Python script and this script need to interact with F5, let us say. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you need to give this data to the user, either maybe using a print function, you can give some output to the user. I will be going to talk about this print function probably tomorrow, not today. Okay, because today my parents are here, so I need to wrap it up class today earlier. Okay, so I could not postpone it because it was a first class. But yeah, I need to wrap it out over here only. But yeah, tomorrow I will be gonna talk about these print statements and all of those stuff. Or you can give this output in maybe some other file like Notepad, or I showed you in Excel or bit like that. Yeah. And then you can also present it in the form of web. So you can even create your web page where you can create your bit like your own tool. Okay, you can create such kind of functionalities also in Python. So that is all things are possible, but for the same you need to do a lot of efforts, more effort. Okay, but yeah, that is everything is possible, and for sure I will be giving you couple of the what to say examples in our live classes. Don't worry, I will be
Okay.
gonna show you these things. More or less, I will be giving you more and more whatever I could give. Okay.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. So if no doubt, guys, I'm again, as I'm telling you, okay, I need to wrap it up over here only.
Okay.
So maybe tomorrow at the same time we will
All
start
right.
and we
Same
will.
time. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Sure.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
we'll meet you tomorrow. Okay,
Sure,
please go
sure.
through this video. It will be get uploaded by tomorrow, maybe Indian time. If I will speak
Okay.
as per your country time, you can just adjust your time, please. Okay, but yeah, by
Okay.
Okay.
tomorrow it's uploaded. Okay,
right.
Okay.
thank you, Jen.
Thank
Okay.
you.
We'll meet
Okay.
tomorrow.
Thank
Yeah,
you very much.
bye.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye,
Great day.
guys.
Bye. Yeah.
Okay.